Well, welcome back to the Danny D and DQ Untitled Sports Show. It's been a while and it feels so good to be back.
That it does, DQ. We're coming at you here. We're doing here as a nice special edition. This is the Danny D and DQ's first round mock draft. And this being our first mock draft, we'll call this the Danny D DQ first round mock draft 1.0 because it may be switched up after a little things. But after what has been a full week of free agent signings, DQ, seen a lot of good things happen, a lot of things that changed my original mock draft that I made. I had to revamp mine just to make this mock draft here because a lot of needs for teams got filled free agent wise.
Well, if I'm being honest, this is DQ's mock draft, I don't know, 50.0. You know what I mean? I've flip-flopped names back and forth all around. And if you like what you hear and if you agree or disagree with some of our picks, feel free to like the video below and obviously comment. Let us know your opinions. Without wasting any more time, let's hop right into this 2018 NFL mock draft.
Danny D DQ's Untitled Sports Show mock draft 1.0.
With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Sam Darnold, quarterback at USC. I haven't really been sold on Sam Darnold all year. I feel like he's a very prime suspect to be a bust. But at the same time, DQ, I've seen him do his pro day, which it started pouring, and he was still really performing out there. Granted, it's just a pro day. Everybody does pretty good at their pro days. But I think they see your Buffalo Bills, they see the New York Jets moving up closer into the top 10 of the first round. So you know that they're all looking for a quarterback as well. So that makes them pull the trigger fast to grab the one that they feel is number one. And I also heard the general manager of the Cleveland Browns was talking to Sam Darnold's family while they were doing the pro days.
with the second pick in the NFL draft, the New York Giants select
Bradley Chubb, defensive end from North Carolina State. Originally, I had them taking a few different things, one being Saquon Barkley, another being Josh Allen, which are still both potential picks. But the reason why I go with Bradley Chubb is because he's considered to be the number one overall prospect in the NFL draft, even ahead of Saquon Barkley. And then also add the trade to Tampa Bay with Jason Pierre-Paul. Now defensive end is a need for the New York Giants, whereas it wasn't a few days ago.
with the third pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select
Quarterback Josh Allen. Obviously, with the Jets trading up with the Colts, they're obviously going to take a quarterback. That's why they would move into that third spot. But the real question is, which quarterback do they take? There's still three on the board. But I think they're really feeling the hype. I think that the New York Jets, I think they're going to make the move. They're going to take who has the biggest hype and I think has the tremendous upside and highest ceiling of quarterbacks in this draft, in my opinion. So I think Josh Allen, number 3, to the New York Jets.
with the fourth pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Running back Saquon Barkley. It's no secret that Saquon is definitely up there with Bradley Chubb as the number one prospect in the 2018 NFL draft. If he is to get selected at this position like I have him going, it would be the third year in a row where first running back is taken at number 4 overall. From what we've seen from those two guys, I'd say it's pretty good so far, so good. So with the number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Browns still get their guy who a lot of people have them taking number 1 overall. And they get Darnold at number 1, according to Danny D and me. And then Saquon Barkley, number 4 overall.
with the fifth pick in the NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select
Josh Rosen. I believe that the Denver Broncos, even though they did sign Case Keenum, he's not their long-term future. As you can see, they only signed him to a 2-year deal, and they're looking for a long-term. I think with already Josh Allen and Sam Darnold off the board, It's really a pick your poison, who you think is going to be the better. I think it would be smarter, personally, for Denver to go, and this is where I went with them, and I have the Denver Broncos to select Josh Rosen.
With the sixth pick in the NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select
offensive guard Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame. Looking at the Indianapolis Colts roster and depth chart, there's many holes that need to be addressed, and I think they're trading back with the New York Jets from the number 3 spot back to this number 6 pick. Honestly, helps them out tremendously to fill many of these holes that they have. But one of the big glaring ones that I see, and going by the best prospects left on the board, we got the number 2 overall prospect in the entire draft, and that is Quentin Nelson. So why not take the guy who is the best on the board at a position you need? Quentin Nelson is the guy for Indianapolis, and he helps to protect the battered and beaten and bruised and bloodied Andrew Luck.
with the 7th pick in the NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select
Minkah Fitzpatrick, cornerback or safety, not sure which he's going to play, from Alabama. First defensive back comes off the board here with the number 7 pick. I think both ways it works out in Tampa Bay's favor. If he plays corner, they need one. If he plays safety, they need one. So both ways in a very weak secondary. I think that's a no-brainer pick for the Buccaneers. And as I've been hearing that a lot of sports analysts and scouts, they think that Minkah Fitzpatrick's the number 1 corner in the draft. I personally don't agree with that. But as you know, DQ hype is one hell of a drug. Everybody sips it. Doesn't matter if you make nickels and dimes like me and my partner here, or if you make millions like these young athletes are about to make in a couple weeks. So, number 7, Tampa Bay, Minkah Fitzpatrick locked up.
with the 8th pick in the NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select
linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. A lot of people have them taking Roquan Smith here, or even taking a cornerback, but they re-signed Prince Amukamara to a huge deal, which I'm not too big on him, but obviously they are to have re-signed him. And then to have matched the contract offered by the Green Bay Packers on Kyle Fuller, which exceeded like $56 million or something like that, when they could have just placed a franchise tag on him. The point is, the cornerback position is, I wouldn't say set, but could be addressed in the second round. Linebacker is definitely a bigger hole here. Specifically inside linebacker, Tremaine, he has the measurements and the athletic ability to play either or. And that's exactly what they need, is a big tackling machine. So with the 8th overall pick, Chicago Bears select Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker out of Virginia Tech.
with the 9th pick in the NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select
Safety, Derwin James out of Florida State. I could see them taking a wide receiver because, as we already seen through our mock draft already, DQ, nobody has even taken a wide receiver. So they could, and essentially what in their mind is they could take the number 1 wide receiver in the draft. Personally, I think this is a pretty weak draft. And I don't think with like a very valuable pick, which some may say 9's not that great of a pick, I think 9's a wonderful pick. But to have a pick like 9 and waste it on a guy that I personally don't think is going to be that great or that helpful to, as you've seen what Jimmy G did in the last 5 games, you don't really need that great of a wide receiver to get it done. You know what I mean? Because San Fran still has nothing. But I doubt that a talent this good will make it out of the top 10. And that's why I think it would be so smart for San Fran. And DQ, you might also know, they have made a big purchase in the free agency this offseason for a defensive back. Goes by the name of Richard Sherman. So having Richard Sherman back there, throw a little Derwin James back there, you might be building your own little Legion of Boom. I think he's going to be a stud in the NFL. And that's who the number 9 pick goes to, San Fran.
with the 10th pick in the NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select
Linebacker Roquan Smith out of Georgia. I've had both Smith and Edmonds going here because the Raiders could definitely use help at the linebacker position. I believe that Roquan Smith can convert really well to the NFL, even though he's pretty small at a linebacker, 6'1". John Gruden wants a mean, physical, fast defender to help out the likes of Khalil Mack and the other defenders of the Oakland Raiders unit. And that just about wraps up picks 1 through 10 of Danny D and DQ's 2018 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. We're going to be coming back at you with picks 11 through 20, followed by picks 21 through 32. We want to know what you have to think about this. If you liked it, please feel free to click the like button below. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And we appreciate you listening. And we'll get back with those picks 11 through 20 soon enough.